My parents gave their entire inheritance to my sister, the golden child. 7 years later, they show up. I, 32M, have been in no contact with my parents for 7 years. They made it very clear my entire life that my sister Lily, 34F, was their golden child. She got everything: attention, praise, and ultimately the entire inheritance from our grandparents. They left a significant sum, enough to set someone up for life. I always assumed it would be split between us, but nope. My parents told me point blank, Lily needs it more. She's going to have a family. You'll be fine on your own. At that point, I realized what I had always known. I was an afterthought. So I cut them off. No calls, no visits, no updates. I moved to another state, built my career, and started my own life. I worked hard to get where I am, and I've done well for myself. I have a stable job, a house, and a great fiancée, Sarah, 30F. I didn't need them, and honestly, I stopped thinking about them. That is, until last week. The return of the prodigal parents. I was coming home from work when I saw an unfamiliar car parked in my driveway. As I got closer, I saw them, my parents, looking older, wearier, but unmistakably them. My stomach twisted. What could they possibly want after 7 years of silence? I didn't invite them in. I stood on my porch, arms crossed, and said, "What are you doing here?" My mom started crying immediately. My dad looked uncomfortable. "Son, we need to talk," he said. I told them I had nothing to say to them. They practically begged me to hear them out. Against my better judgment, I agreed, outside on a porch. And then they dropped the bombshell. Golden child's golden failure. Turns out Lily blew through every cent of the inheritance. She married a guy who turned out to be a gambling addict, and together they burned through the money in a few years. Now she's broke, in debt, and of course, divorced with 2 kids. And my parents? They were also struggling. They had retired early, assuming they'd be taken care of by Lily's inheritance. Without it, they were facing foreclosure on their home. Their retirement plan had collapsed. We were hoping, my mother sobbed, that you could help us out. Just a little, until we get back on our feet. I laughed. I couldn't help it. After all those years of being told I didn't need anything from them, suddenly they needed me. The ultimate Harna. I asked them one simple question. Why should I help you? My father bristled. Because we're family. I shook my head. No, you made it clear years ago that I was just fine on my own. So I did exactly that. I built my own life without you. Now you want me to clean up the mess you made for Lily? That's not my problem. They begged. They told me they had nowhere else to go, that Lily wasn't in a position to help, that they just needed a loan, not a handout. I said no, and I told them to leave. They tried guilt-tripping me. They said I was being cruel, ungrateful, heartless, that they never thought I could be so cold. I told them I learned from the best. Then I shut the door in their faces. Aftermath. I later got a message from Lily. The first one in years. She called me a selfish bastard for not helping our parents in their time of need. She said she had always defended me, which is a lie, and that I was just proving them right about me being a disappointment. I didn't even bother responding. Sarah thinks I did the right thing, but part of me wonders, should I feel guilty? A lot of people in my life say I should, that family is family. But where was that energy when I was left out in the cold? Edit. Wow, this blew up. I didn't expect this to get so much attention. Thanks for all the responses. To answer a few questions. Do I feel bad for my parents? Not really. They made their choices. Actions have consequences. Would I ever reconcile? I doubt it. If they really wanted a relationship, they would have reached out before they needed money. What about Lily's kids? I feel for them, but they aren't my responsibility. I have no connection to them. My parents made their bed, now they have to lie in it. Top comments and my replies. Eagle Karma hits back. OP, this is the best revenge story I read in a while. Your parents were awful to you, and now they're facing the consequences. Stand your ground. OP, thanks. It's crazy how they never cared about me until they needed something. Eagle Karma sympathy. As much as your parents suck, what about your niece and nephew? They didn't ask for this mess. Okay, I get it, but I don't even know them. Refuse to be dragged into my sister's problems. Eagle Karma, never forget, never forgive. If they try showing up again, you might want to look into a restraining order. They sound desperate. OP, good idea. I'll keep an eye out. So, are you IDA for refusing to help my parents after they gave everything to Lily?